Hey guys, so we're trying something new here. We're in Texas, and yeah, I'm gonna do like a NAWCQ tier list here. Let me see if I can pull this down a little bit for you guys. No, I think that's it. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is gonna be a tier list kind of heading into Nats, and I just wanted to share my thoughts on what I think the best deck is and or is going to be going in there. Now, something I will make a comment of. Lunalite is not on this tier list, but I'd like to say that I'm just going to represent Lunalite as this deck. I don't know what this deck is. I'm just going to say it's Lunalite. Guys, forgive me if I don't know what it is. Apologies. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into it here. So, Red Eyes and Dark Magician, kind of low rogue, right? I think we all know they're not really relevant. No offense to those who love the decks at locals, but these guys aren't quite at the anime level that Blue Eyes is right now, which I think it is at a strong tier 2. Blue Eyes not quite here, but the Primite stuff did make it stronger. We just haven't seen any wins. At least I haven't seen any wins since the new Primite stuff has gotten released in Duad here. I know it's been a short while, but we're going to find out, right? I just think right now with the support, it's still not strong. Dice to drills everywhere. The mermail stuff, the water stuff, I think is a strong. It's got like a 1.5, especially with the water lock and being able to like hand rip still and do a bunch of funny stuff. Like there's still some dangerous things the deck can do, but it just doesn't compete up to the same level as Mitsurugi, right? The meta deck, leading the meta deck. Now, as far as how the deck performs going second, I will say one other thing. The deck performs very well going second. But Chimera here, Chimera Fiendsmith, I actually going to put it in tier 2. I don't think it's high rogue because I would like to clarify as well, rogue deck meaning it's not going to win a larger event. Regionals it can compete, but YCS and or nationals, it's not going to compete, and that's where I'm putting rogue at. Tier 2 is like it can compete, but most likely not going to win. So I think Chimera Fiendsmith still is. It's not quite in the high. It's not quite in the rogue region. Like you could see it and it could compete, but it's not going to win consistently. That's where I'm putting it out of rogue. Like for Centurion, I put it high rogue. Fire King, even Fire King, I put that like high rogue. Right, can't compete. Flu, you're not going to see Flu. Branded, I'll just throw stuff in here. So like I'm putting this in here. Mimigul is going to go in here. Maybe in there. I've seen some people cook with Ryziel with this, right? I forget Bastionado. I forget the name of the archetype. I'm blanking on it right now, but kind of cooking with Ryziel in this. But like I know the Automat stuff makes it stronger, so I'll put it kind of sneaky high rogue, right? Branded with the new Melodious. Branded with the new Marileona? I forget that it starts with an M, but with the new support, Branded is decent. Like I've seen a lot of people put it at tier 2, which like I don't know better to put it outside of tier 2. I think it's probably strong enough to compete at least a little bit right now, but it's like Impulse still running around, probably not going to beat top decks that are running Impulse like Malice. So I just don't think Branded is that great right now. Kashtira, like, I don't know. I put Kashtira, I guess, high rogue if you're talking pure. And even Kashtira Fiendsmith, like, these two things probably somewhere in this range where it's like you're probably not going to see a ton of these pure decks, maybe like Kashtira and Fiendsmith. But even then, I don't think that combo is better than these three decks so far. Labyrinth at first, I thought it was going to be high rogue, right? Because of the ability to just set traps like D-Barrier. Which I still think is ironically strong, but we haven't seen a ton of Lab players, so I don't know what happened there. But I think Lab has like a weird sneaky potential to do good, but it's just a hard deck to play, and we're in a format where maybe I think a lot of the deck speed has caught up to where Labyrinth was. I think that's one of the things that it had going for it was that Labyrinth was pretty fast, right? Labyrinth was a pretty fast deck, especially when you start popping stuff off and you start moving stuff with your normal traps. Like it can really catch up, but Fiendsmith was ultimately the weakness. So we may see a rise from it again. Orcus Mitsurugi, I'm gonna put like up here personally. Like I know Crow and Magnum Hunt and Bestials, like they're all running around. I think if you're not main decking those, I think you should. They're really great cards, especially there's going to be a lot of graveyard interaction chances. So yeah, Orcus Mitsurugi pretty strong, especially if your opponent doesn't have graveyard interaction for what you're doing, because it can play through a lot. So I'm putting it up in this range. Pearly, not quite yet. I'm putting Pearly, down here, high rogue. Race, not quite yet. Plant, like I don't know, just high rogue, I guess, right? Like I haven't seen many plant players, but the ones that do play plant play it well. Because it's just really good. Like there's a lot of like effects that you just have to really read the cards to know what they do. Runic, I kind of like Runic Stun could be somewhere in here. I've heard rumors of people thinking about playing Stun, right? Like if you think about it, what's in the format right now? You got Malice, you got Detonator, you've got like Graveyard Interaction, like a Detonator that pops everything, and then a monster wipes with Mitsurugi Mirakuma, right? So you've got a couple things that pretty much interact with everything Runic, but I guess going second, even then, it's not the worst thing in the world if you stop them from getting onto Detonator. But then again, it's like, I don't know, how are you doing that? Like in main decking Kaijus or something? I don't know. I've heard rumors of this, so I'm putting Runic kind of maybe like low tier 2, maybe right now even high rogue, honestly. Just because I don't know how you can make a combination of that. Sprite, low rogue. Salad, low rogue. Snake Eyes, low rogue. Sky Striker here, we'll put this like low rogue too. And maybe tier like high rogue, but Sky Striker's interesting. Sky Striker I would put like top tier 2, right? Like up here, because Droll does affect it pretty heavily, but it still scares me. I don't know. Sky Striker feels like it just has endless grind game with the spells, and that's usually pretty tough to interact with, especially if you don't have crows. So yeah, it feels like it just keeps grinding. So maybe I like, especially with the new support, I can see Sky Striker sneaking its way in there with all the board breakers, and like people are preparing for like 3 decks, right? Mitsurugi, Ryzeal, and Malice for the most part, and Lunalite. Sorry, forgive me, Lunalite, another important deck to prepare for, but. Like, Sky Striker just kind of sneaks its way in there as playing a bunch of board breakers and going second cards. So, could be a deck to watch out for. Unchained right now, high rogue, but like post ban list, you never know. Unchained could make its way back somewhere in like the low tier 2 range. Vanquish Soul, I personally am putting Vanquish Soul at tier 1. I've been playing it. It's what I'm going to be taking. So I will say I am a little biased as to where I think the deck belongs. But Vanquish Soul, I believe even right now, belongs in tier 1. Because it can play in your opponent's turn, it can combo your opponent's turn. If you get Fua or Pireliad, like sometimes it hurts, but if you have the right hand, you can just pass with giving them maybe 1 draw, and you have 3 to 4 forms of interaction sometimes. So yeah, Vanquish Soul just very good right now into a lot of the draw cards, especially because of Holly Sue. Yubel, sorry Yubel, kind of falling off. I'd put this maybe like high rogue. Tenpai, I've seen some Tenpai, but that's going to be in rogue. This is going to be in rogue. Ice Barrier, unfortunately, even with the new support, like, I want to talk about Ice Barrier real quick, because Ice Barrier I am a fan of. I took it. That's how I got one of my invites for the Nationals this year, is with Ice Barrier. And Ice Doll, I haven't made a video on it yet. Bear with me, I'm making it for post-nats, but the new Ice Barrier stuff with Ice Doll does make it more consistent, which might help, but to be honest, the issue was never consistency. The issue was how do you play through interruption. So keeping that in mind, it just needs more. I feel like Ice Barrier needs more extenders. I feel like the starters are there. Like, it doesn't really have a problem playing a bunch of non-engine the starters. It just needs different cards to be able to allow it to keep playing, right? Like, because obviously your win condition is Lancia here. He's your big boy. he's who you want to get out, right? Very tough card to out. Yeah, so I think maybe like appropriately, Ice Bear kind of on the high road. Memento, top of tier 1.5. I feel like it's pilot dependent. I think a lot of people just, I don't need to talk about that too much. It is very pilot dependent, but can be very good if you are a good pilot. It's very hard to stop, in my opinion, unless you have targeting negation for their summons. So, White Forest is weird. Shout out to Magma Trooper. My buddy plays it. I'm putting it top of tier 2, just because I don't know. I feel like it does a lot of things without actually doing anything. Like it just is a extremely combo heavy deck that can force interaction on a lot of levels, but maybe isn't quite of a blowout deck as like Mitsurugi or something else, right? So I don't know. It's pretty combo intensive. I've seen people think a lot when they're playing it, so probably a very hard deck to play, which doesn't bode well for like a 12-round nationals. Millennium, surprisingly, I would actually put Millennium over here, believe it or not. Like, Millennium is kind of in the same range as Sky Striker, where I'm like, you're main decking going second cards, but in the same thought process, like, Exodia has access to now like the Blue Eyes guy. It has a board wipe with the trap, a spell trap negate, so like you could just save it for the Mitsurugi spell, right? Kind of sneaky. Sharks fell off. Mimighoul never was there. Crystron could be, I think it's in this range too. I think these decks are pretty strong, definitely within that range. Yeah, Dragoons, Crystron, in no particular order. I think Crystron just kind of right there in the middle. Mitsurugi, I do think is just like Mitsurugi, Ryziel, we're putting this here, right? Just the best deck in the room. I think Mitsurugi, Ryziel, best deck because of the bridging. Ryziel, pure. I guess this is pure Mitsu. This is Ryziel Mitsu. So I guess I should rephrase this. I think it depends, but if you're playing pure Mitsu, the ability to play Impulse is very strong. But the matchup going into Ryziel is bad, right? So there's the dilemma there. It has I think pure Mitsu has a better matchup in the Malice, but Ryziel Mitsu has a worse matchup going into Malice because of the graveyard interaction, sort of, and like the fact you can't play Impulse, right? So either way, I think Ryziel Mitsurugi is just the better variant. And then like I guess Primate Blue Eyes. I don't know. I'm putting it same. I don't know why Blue Eyes Primate Blue Eyes. They're synonymous to me, right? Guys, this is going to be Lunalight. Apologies for not putting that up there. I do think Lunalight is right now in that range, tier 1.5. Probably going to be a popular deck, and definitely worth keeping a lookout for and be mindful of with your side decks. So I think Lunalight can be, I know it's probably not what that is, but it can be scary, right? Odeon maybe look out for. I'd put it also in this tier 2 range right now. Has a decent matchup. Has actually a very good matchup into Mitsurugi, but the biggest thing is it has trouble going second, right? And you got to win those game zeros, turn zeros, right? Or game ones, sorry. The game ones very important to win, and you can't dice roll every game if you're going second, right? Even if it does have a great matchup going into Mitsurugi. So through 11 rounds, that's just not going to be good enough. It does need to have more support. So then Malice, I would also obviously put this up in tier 1. The best decks in the room, in my opinion, are going to be Vanquish Soul, Mitsurugi, Malice, and Ryziel. Just how it's working out right now, I think Vanquish Soul doesn't belong right here quite yet, just because it does kind of rely on those 2-card combos still. These are 1-card combo decks, which is the main reason why I'm putting them ahead. And Lunalight, although 1-card combo, maybe a little bit more susceptible to hand traps, and maybe kind of dies to blowout cards like Lancia, sometimes Droll. So yeah, I just think that These are easily the top 4 decks, and the next best, or tier 1.5, right, are going to be those 4. So, yeah, that's going to be it for my tier list for heading into Nats, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out the merch, and if you're going to Nats, I will see you guys at Nats. So, otherwise, Nedgy out, and I'll see you guys there.